Hey guys, Starshot here to welcome you back to another Let's Play of Legend of Heroes. We just last left off completing a few of the quests for the professor, getting the gas combustible engine along with the gasoline, and finding out that sadly the special blade we used could barely scratch the Black Orbit. So, but we apparently got sidetracked, and now we're gonna help Tita with Hot Springs engine or heating equipment that has broken down over in Elmo Village. Didn't know Elmo actually had his own village named after him, but whatever. So we'll go ahead and kind of get that started. Of course, before we head out, we'll go ahead and check up on the bulletin board at the Bracer Guild, see if we got any quests to deal with. So, Elmo. Sounds kind of fun. There's a hot spring there, right? And hopefully there's a Sesame Street too, but I doubt it. Right, it's a real nice place. My grandpa's taken me there a few times. So which way do we go? There's a big field outside the south entrance of town. You just follow that road due south to get there. Got it, due south from the south entrance. Well then, let's go. It really is nice that this game actually gives us directions while putting it into the story, since these two characters of course don't know their way around. They have to ask for directions to know where everything is. So it works in the story as well as letting us, the player, know where the heck we need to go sometimes, because there are some games where, you know, they expect you to know where to go and you of course have no idea. I think I remember having that issue sometimes with either Final Fantasy or Secret of Mana sometimes too. Well, let's go ahead and check on the board here. Oh wow, we got quite a few new ones. And we got two quests that are pretty much in dire need of getting done, along with the Smoker Revolt and the Trats Plain Monster. So I've actually done a bit of research, looking a few of these quests up just to make sure I don't miss anything. And it turns out the Temp Librarian mission actually has multiple parts. And since this of course takes place in the central factory, I'll go ahead and get the Smoker Revolt started just to get that done right away. And then I'll get the Temp Librarian started and see what I can do for that. The other two are ones we'll of course get started as well. But the Trats Plain Monster is one we'll encounter as we travel down to Elmo Village. But yeah, so the direction of course is very nice, and then of course they give you all the different options. But let's see, so... oh yeah, actually for the Smoker's Revolt quest, we should, I believe, start that on floor 4. Where we go to the clinic and talk to the doctor here. I swear, this time you're not getting away. Good afternoon, Dr. Miriam. Oh, good afternoon. Oh my, so many of you. Yeah, we saw your posting on the bulletin board. I'm Estelle, Junior Bracer. And I'm Joshua, also a Junior Bracer. We heard that there might be a case for us here. Yes, I'd certainly say so. If you can, it would be ideal if you started your investigation at once. Do you think it would be possible? Okay then. I know this is urgent, but can you provide us with any more details? Well, it's not a complicated tale to tell. Someone took the cigarettes that were in this cabinet. This is a medical office. Why would you even have cigarettes here? Under my supervision, this factory has observed a no-smoking policy for the last several years. Any confiscated tobacco is kept in here, which would mean that anyone who had anything confiscated is immediately a suspect, since what was taken probably belonged to that individual to begin with. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm inclined to agree. It took so much work to get the smoking ban established. I just let this go, it will completely undermine the entire policy. First of all, we should talk to the people that were smokers to begin with. Would you happen to know who that would be? My first suggestion would be Supervisor Travis from Operations. He's always been a heavy smoker. Plus, he's never really got accepted the ban, so I'd say he's got motive. Okay, sounds like a good place to start. So, I'll make a note of it. There's also Hugo in the design room. I think he's currently arranging a meeting in the first floor lobby. The people who've worked here the longest tend to be the smokers. Ah, okay. So, there's Travis from the operations room and Hugo on the first floor. Is there anything else you can tell us? If not, we can go ahead and get started. Well, I don't know if he'll be of any use to you, but there was an eyewitness. Yeah, that might be a lead. And who was this eyewitness? He's right behind you. Anthony. Yeah, go? Do cats normally say go over in Japan? At least I haven't heard any of the cats I've known to ever say go before. I hope he says stop at some point. A cat? I did say that I wasn't sure it would actually help. That you did. But Anthony's really a smart cat. You might remember who took the cigarettes. Indeed. If you bring him along in your search, he might provide you with a useful clue. He may not have as good a sense of smell as a dog, but it's still quite impressive. That's the hope, anyway. If you bring along some fresh milk, I'm sure he'll be more than happy to follow you. In light of the lack of other clues, I'd like to try. Sure, it can't hurt. If we find anything of note, we'll be back to let you know. I'll be waiting. Whoever did this must be caught. Well, you heard the lady. Let's go ahead and recruit our new favorite cat, Anthony. Here you go, Anthony. Some nummy milk. Well, all we're missing is a tall, shaggy guy, and I guess a girl with glasses, and we got a... No, I guess Tita fits the bill for that, so... We're just missing another guy, and we got the Scooby-Doo gang, guys. Well, let's go ahead and check out Operations. And see if we can, if Travers will have any notes or clues for us up there. Hello again. Did you find what you were looking for? Oh, yeah, we did. We're just looking for something different now. Different? Yes, some cigarettes were taken from the clinic. Someone actually did that. I imagine you're being kept pretty busy. Have you been in the clinic at any time today? No, I haven't. I've been here all day. You're welcome to search the room if you want. Well, he doesn't seem suspicious. Yeah, I think he's a dead end. Well, am I still under suspicion? Oh, right. What do you think, Anthony? I'm guessing that's a no. No reaction. So much for that, then. Sorry to have taken up your time. We appreciate your future cooperation with our investigation. Sure, no problem. Well, still, I do have to say, I'm not sure how practical it is to rely on a cat. But then again, it seems like in this world, animals have, a bit more than you would figure they would. But let's go ahead and talk to, our next guy, Hugo here. What is it? Sorry, but I'm in the middle of something important. Come back later if you need me. I don't get the feeling that he's particularly wants to be questioned. Oh yeah, any reaction out of Anthony? Meow? Nothing. I guess neither of them is the culprit. No clues to be found. As it stands, we should keep on looking. There may be hints somewhere in there, like Dr. Miriam said. I guess you're right. Alright, well, there is one other place we can go. Just to tell you, the clue Dr. Miriam gave us was that most of the people who have been here the longest tend to be the heavy smokers. So I have a hunch that the chief might be the one who knows, but wait, actually this is the work office. But we can also check the professor just in case. Yeah, I guess not. But yeah, I think it's the professor, and actually if I recall, he's on the 2nd floor, not the 3rd floor. My mistake. But yeah, I really do feel like a bit of the Scooby-Doo gang here. With, you know, having the animal's sidekick along with us trying to solve a mystery. I used to watch the show quite a bit when I was a kid. So how many of you would say this? Nya, go? I still don't get the go part, really. Huh? At least they try to play the sound effect up for us, even it's a bit hard to hear sometimes with the music going. Does anything seem strange about this door to you? This room is... yeah, unlikely, but let's head on in and make sure. Alright. So, the chief is really the suspect all along. What's wrong? Nyanyo? Is he trying to say Daddy-o? Ah, Anthony! Why are you so fussy? Would that be considered fussy to you guys? Him just nyaying, apparently? What's this? Looks like we found the culprit. Yeah. What are you talking about? Mr. Murdoch, you went to the clinic today, didn't you? Huh? No, I didn't. We're currently looking for the cigarettes that were taken from there. Would you mind if we search this room for a bit? Sure, go ahead. Okay, we'll start immediately. So yeah, but you pretty much look around here, but since nothing kind of pops up, we have to check this door here. Is in there? Let's try and find the key. It's got to be in here somewhere. Sure thing. Yeah, there's the back room key. And there's our cigarettes, or at least an obvious ashtray on there with cigarettes. Haha! Found them! Which would likely mean... no! Mr. Murdoch couldn't have... well, it's a shock, that's for sure. I wouldn't have suspected. No, you got it all wrong. This is all just one big misunderstanding. I was just going to take one quick puff, then put the rest of them right back in the clinic. Chief Murdoch, I think you want to come and explain this to Dr. Miriam. I have to say, I'm simply amazed. I never would have suspected you of all people. I'm sorry. I just needed a smoke. I can't really explain any other way than saying that the craving got the better of me. Dr. Miriam, I'm really sorry. Mr. Murdoch, you know perfectly well that the rule has been in place for quite some time. You're right. Coming up on 10 years now. Uh-huh? Oh, yeah? So, where did the sudden uncontrollable urge come from, then? Honestly, I'm not so sure myself. After we had that horrible power outage, I've heard no end of complaints from the townsfolk. I guess that it's just got to be too much, and I needed a smoke to help cool me down. Mr. Murdoch, I'm sorry. This is all because of what Grandpa and I did. No, Tita, you haven't done anything wrong, so don't apologize. This doesn't really even have anything to do with the professor. Maybe you should just take a little break or something. It seems to me that this was all because of too much stress. I do understand your situation, Mr. Murdoch. I think that I'm willing to forgive and forget in this case. What? Really? Instead, I'm going to insist that you take a decent break. You're just going to ruin your health if you go on like this. You're right. Once things settle down a little bit, I'll plan on using some of my vacation time. I'm still sorry for this whole mess, though. It's water under the bridge. You need to focus on your health. I will. I guess I'll be going now. Phew. That's kinda sad. It's not like he was trying to cause any trouble or anything. Be that as it may, the factory is still his responsibility. Well, that much is true. Now I really must thank you all. You've handled this case brilliantly. You're welcome. I think half the credit has to go to Anthony, though. Yeah, no kidding. I'm glad my suggestion bore fruit. I trust you'll be nice to him if you should meet again. Of course. Well, thank you again for your help. I'll be certain to call upon you again should another incident arise. Glad to help. I think we'll be on our way then. See you later. Okay, so let's get started on our next quest now that we've finished up playing Scooby-Doo here. We're gonna check out the archives here. Excuse me. We saw your request on the bulletin board. Oh, you're here. Well, I do know that the Bracer Guild is short-handed of late, so what can one do? Sorry, we got wrapped up in other business. Well, shall we get started then? That's fine. This is about hiring the temp librarian, right? Yes, that's right. Just for all you folks at home. I'm gonna see if I can try a bit of a Southern Belle accent here, because that's sort of what her attire at least is telling me right now, so I'll do a few lines of this, but I'm not sure how well this is gonna work out, so cross your fingers and please don't crucify me for this. It's turned out to be much more of an ordeal than expected. What kind of ordeal? I'll explain that in a moment. Let me try that one more time. Beforehand, though, I've a matter that I would like you to help settle. Consider it a favor, if you will. What kind of matter are you referring to? The archives, I've loaned out some books out to various central factory departments. I don't really like how I'm doing this. Maybe it's something I'll work on later, but for now, that's sadly all I'm doing. Sometimes they keep them past the due date and don't pay the fees. First, I'd like you to get our books back. What? That simple? Where do we need to go? Let's see. They should be in the 3rd floor design room and the 4th floor lab and clinic. 3rd floor design room and 4th floor lab and clinic. Got it. Is that everything? Yes. Please, come back once you have them. Okay, we will. We'll start immediately. Well, that shouldn't be too hard to figure out. I do enjoy some of these, somewhat simpler quests, since they, they give a clear objective, so you don't have to wander around too much. Let's see here. I think it's actually over here. No cat. Okay, so maybe not over there. They said the 4th floor clinic. So I figured it'd be somewhere around here. Okay, so sadly she... Oh, here it is. Okay, so Kitty Talk for Dummies. Well, at least we know where she got those words from. Let's go ahead and visit the lab now and find the next book. Oh, tomorrow's cooking. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and, Oh, apparently we already have the sneakers. Weird. I thought we didn't have those yet, but I guess we do. Oh, I must have picked them up in the last video and forgotten. Let's see, and here we are in the design room. Any obvious books around here? Oh, here we go. Septum Onyx Annals. Well, we got that taken care of, but as I mentioned before, this is a much longer quest than we would have figured, even if it's this easy to complete. Oh, are you done? Haha, we brought them for you. Good now. We have all the books again. I thank you for your assistance. It was no big deal. We didn't have any issues. That's good to hear. In that case, perhaps I should go ahead and ask for your help with my favorite type of work. Oh, that's right. You mentioned having some significant problems somewhere along the line. So what kind of work is it? Just like before, we need some overdue materials returned. The books in question is called the Eber Woodpecker. Or the Eber... I hope that's right. We'll make a note of that. Right, Eber Woodpecker. So it's a book on birds, right? Yeah, I think so. The Eber Woodpecker is a pretty famous bird. I see. So, do you have any clues for us? Yes, as a matter of fact. Take a look at this. Approach the man of stone standing in silence within the mountain village pond, and ye shall receive. Okay, I wrote that down. But what the heck is it? It was written on a card that was taken from the book. I imagine that it's some kind of hint as to its whereabouts. A hint of bad poetry, maybe? So it was only borrowed because someone with way too much time on their hands wanted to hide it somewhere? Evidently so. It's the sort of trick that researchers used to play on each other long ago. I have no idea what would possess someone to hide a book of all things. But we certainly have our fair share of unusual characters. It's not surprising that any of them might follow such a bizarre custom. Why is everyone looking at me? Anyway, I leave this matter in your capable hands. Please, bring the book back. Hey, hold on a second. Is this the only lead we have? I'm afraid so. But the guild sent you, so I'm sure I have every confidence in your ability. Well, that's just awesome. Understood. It'll be difficult work, but we'll do all that we can. We may have to search every nook and cranny in Zeiss, but I'm sure you'll find it. I'll be waiting here. When you do find it, please bring it back to me. Let's get this show on the road then. I look forward to seeing you again. So yeah, that one we'll work on as we continue working on some of the other quests for now. Because that one, I believe, sounds like it's in another village at least, but not around here. So let's go ahead. Let's see. So we already took care of the smoker and the temp. So we'll try working on the Trat Plains monster and the haulage vehicle search. Those should be the next two that we can get done. And I guess I'll go ahead and just check and turn the two in for now. And sadly, no new perks yet, but we can't expect to get too many too quickly. But yeah, so it's definitely nice having the directions they helped to give us. Oh, well for it, we should probably check out this way, because if we check here in the haulage vehicle, the vehicle was supposedly headed to the Wolf Fort, but hasn't arrived. So hopefully it should be somewhere on this road. And then there's actually one more thing I believe I forgot to redo. We have the haze, but since we have this quartz open, I'll go ahead and put Eagle Eye here, which would make it so that we can see enemies from a distance and avoid them if when we can. And let's see, let's go ahead and upgrade these two, so it should give us more options. And then for the most part, I'm not sure how useful stone will be, so I'll see about giving her something a bit stronger for this area. I think evade 2, and another wind to give us another aerial user would be nice. Oh wait, it looks like so yeah, just a side note, or just a slight reminder if you don't know, depending on where you have the orbments put is kind of how your abilities will work. So for example, if I were to have 2 water elements where the gold ones are right now, then they would kind of connect and have more together, you know, but you can kind of see the definition of the 3 lines being made here. So even though I have this wind one here, putting another wind one over on this side wouldn't really work. If I wanted another wind element, I would have to put it in the middle here, but sadly she isn't able to do that with either slot. Or okay, so she can at least do it with this slot, but that's about it. So it looks like we'll just have to be happy with what we have for now and hopefully unlock these 2 seals when we get enough Seath eventually. But for now, we'll just give her some wind, and hopefully that should be better against some of the enemies in this area here. But yeah, definitely, you know, this is definitely a game that shouldn't be too difficult to get lost in, but you still have plenty of options to kind of run around and look at stuff. Oh, and we got our friend here, the Trat's Plane monster that we need to deal with. And if I remember right, I think he might be actually weak to stone. So actually, let me go ahead and re-equip her move here. Yeah, I think Petrify should be good for now. And let me go ahead and give some stone to her as well. And it gives us quite a bit to work with, for the most part. And we'll keep Joshua where he is with the Hellgate. That's always useful. So let's go ahead and give this a try then. Okay, so as you can see with the Chronosider, they're definitely not the easiest monsters we can tackle, with having no obvious elemental weaknesses and having robust attributes apparently. So we'll want to probably focus on our strengths and focus on just one enemy at a time. Of course, with Hellgate, it does have the potential to do a feint, even if it's not very likely. So we'll give it at least 1 or 2 tries with Joshua here, since he can use that. And go ahead and still do a few area of effects just to hit things. But of course we'll want to, I think I'll go ahead and do a morale to try and buff these guys up with their physical attacks. And then I'll go ahead and make use of her ability to interrupt and try and take care of one of these, or at least weaken them. I guess I'll target him just because he has the +10 strength, just in case, but I'm fairly certain I'm not going to finish him off, so actually it would be better if I just target this guy for now, since he's closest and can do damage to us. Oh, we got some pretty good damage out of that. But yeah, as you can see, they do hit pretty hard. And we got the Hellgate, which thankfully did some decent damage. And that did pretty good work as well. But, actually one of the things they should be in range for now, or oh. Okay, thankfully the critical didn't do too much, but that buff is going to be a problem for us. So, but let me go ahead and do a heal here. Yeah, since he's kind of low as it is, I'll go ahead and just do this one to heal everyone. And then, yeah, the one of the best things you can do against these enemies is smoke cannon, actually. I don't normally rely on status effects because my experience in most RPGs has been they're not as handy or as useful as you would like. And what the is... Oh, I think he's actually been petrified. Wow. Yeah, I don't always expect the petrifies to hit, but when they do, they should come in handy. But yeah, thanks to the smoke cannon, this guy's at least blind, so his buff shouldn't really help him out that much. And I'm not sure what to do, but I'll go ahead and give him a hit. And oh wow, that does quite a bit of damage if they're petrified. So yeah, it looks like you definitely want to try status effects when you can, for what you have. Smoke cannon's definitely a good thing for that, because it causes blindness, and thanks to the petrify we have equipped to her, she does have a % chance to actually do it. And then of course, using his craft, like Flicker, could help get through their, or to get through their defenses, but because it doesn't really do, or because they're not that weak, it's probably best to just save it for now and rely on the blindness move while getting some heals in. But yeah, most of my experience with status effects usually have been hit or miss. Like, you know, in like most of the Final Fantasy games, they've usually been annoying, but not usually the best method in taking down an enemy. Most of the time, it's usually better to attack to do immediate damage than to confuse them or to blind them. Mainly because they're usually not strong enough to warrant the blindness like, obviously these enemies do. Yeah, they're really not taking much damage thanks to their buffs right now, which is kind of annoying. I think I need to keep using my arts if I'm gonna do anything at all. I'll go ahead and do a petrify move and see if that'll help at all or not. And Hellgate should help too. Yeah, it helps at least, but sadly not as much as I hoped for. So he's definitely a lot lower now, but... Oh, and he is fainted, so that does help a bit. So I'll just target him now to try and take care of him. This is always annoying when they hit, even though they're blind. That's, I guess, the other thing I have with status effects as well, is that because, you know, they're hit or miss. So, like, it gives you a better, like, they help, but they don't help enough sometimes, I feel. Like, I guess when it comes to a sure thing, you pretty much like it to be a sure thing instead of, oh, this just gives them a slightly higher chance to miss now. But then again, I have actually been playing a bit of South Park: The Stick of Truth. I will plan eventually on doing Fractured Butthole, but yeah, the Stick of Truth, in that game the stat effects were pretty much broken. You'd definitely want to stack them as much as possible and do you know, just because of how much damage they do in stack, which is nice to have for different status effects that actually hurt the enemy, compared to a lot of the status effects which just reduce certain abilities that they can do, like being able to attack more, you know, more accurately, or do more damage sometimes with less defense or something. But we got that monster taken care of, and from the research I remember reading up on, supposedly from that monster we just faced, the vehicle we are searching for should be southeast. So it should be somewhere this way, I believe, out here in the field before we hit the town. And thanks, of course, to our haze orbment as well as the eagle eye, we are able to avoid these monsters, or at least see them coming. And it looks like I should check the other side just in case, because I sometimes get my east and west a bit mixed up. Yeah. And of course we got the creepy sheep, which are definitely creepy, that's for sure. But yeah, these guys, you know, are pretty much pushovers, so no worries there. Of course, you still need to make sure your characters are healed up, because they still will do damage to you no matter what. So let me go ahead and get that done. And I'll go ahead and give her her other wind abilities back, because I believe those were a bit stronger against the other enemies from what I recall. And I'll just do or not scent. We don't want the enemies to become aware of our presence. Sleep should be good. And I'm avoiding that chest just because there's enemies in there and I don't want to really face them right away. Okay, so that way is Zeiss. And there's the Wolf Fort. Okay, so this was the direction we were going to get to the Wolf Fort. So, and our map is telling us, yeah, this way should be south. Oh, here we go. Finally found them. Yeah, finally. Ugh, I'm guessing it's broken. Yeah, looks like it. This would have to happen in the middle of nowhere like this. Hey, what happened? Looks like you were in a bit of a pickle here. What's up with you two? That emblem. Might you two be... Yep, we're junior bracers. I'm Estelle, and he's... Joshua. It's nice to meet you. You're awfully young to be bracers. Oh, I see. I've heard about you two. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Wong of the Zeiss Guild branch. Wait, didn't we see this guy earlier in the game? I didn't know he was affiliated with the Zeiss Guild though, but yeah, he escorted another caravan before too, I think. Killicut told me about you. So what brings you here? Or it could be he just has a twin brother. We're on an escort mission at the moment. Hi. I have to go to Elmo. So I asked Estelle and Joshua if they'd come with me. Hey now, that I get a good look at you, you're Tita, right? You're on another errand for the old prof. It must be tough being that guy's gropher. So, what happened here? You guys seem to be in a bit of a jam. I'm afraid so. I was escorting this transport vehicle to the Wolf Fort, but we only got this far before it broke down. I think the problem's in the orbital engine. It started rattling, and then before we knew it, well, here we are. Oh man, that stinks. Wait a second. There's a request up on the bulletin board about searching for a haulage vehicle. Do you think, I think it's the haulage? Yeah, I think it's haulage. Yeah, it sounds off to me though. Do you think, about Wong's transport job? No doubt about it. Well, at least the guild knows about us. Yeah, but your orbital engine's a wreck. Unless I miss my guess, you're gonna have to replace all your internal motivator parts. Huh? You can't fix it? The core of an orbital engine is a super delicate machine. You'll need a professional technician to give it that kind of complete overhaul. It just can't be done with simple tools. I understand. So there's no way we'll get it repaired outdoors. What's wrong? See for yourself. The time when you know something dramatic is about to happen and the music just tries to fit the scene for you. Of course, this music I don't think will fit what we're gonna face here out in the fields. Of course, these are some of the creepiest looking bunnies I've ever seen. They're like half tentacle monster, half rabbit. Whoa! Stay back, Bruno. Okay. And of course there's more of them. Crap! There's more of them! Wrong. You handle the ones back there. We'll take care of these. Alright. Alright, let's show these things who's boss. Actually, I guess with the things with these rabbits is they're not very soft and fluffy, are they? They look more like scaly or almost metallic even. Holy crap, they're armored rabbits? Seriously? Wow. Attacks with a deadly strike, but it looks like they're super weak to elements. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as it hits an area, it's good to use. So let's go ahead and do it then. Come on, Hellgate. Stone Impact. And of course I'm just doing a little speed up here, but... And of course for the piece de resistance, the aerial. Of course I keep saying aerial, but I feel like I might mispronounce it a few times, and it just reminds me of that one Disney princess, the mermaid and all that. Well, let's see if this takes care of them or not. Well, it did a decent job at least, but not quite yet. But this stone impact should do it. So yeah, always have the area effects, kids. You know, they make everything so much better. And isn't she just adorable? And we both got the level ups. That's always wonderful to have, as well as plenty of seep to go with it. So it looks like these armor rabbits are good for water, though. That should be all of them. Yeah, we got them. Phew, thank goodness. Indeed, and no casualties. Oh man, my life flashed in front of my eyes. Now, we're okay, but what comes next? Sorry, I think that was my bad, I forget who that guy is now. I've known you've seen him in something before. Good question. I think our first priority should be to get our vehicle moving again. But we can't repair it, can we? It sure won't be easy. Which means that our only option is to change out the parts. The manager of the transport vehicle is Prometheus from the central factory. He'll probably know where we can get the replacement parts we need. But we'll have to go all the way back to Zeiss for that. I just don't know what do you think, Bruno? Back to Zeiss then? It probably won't do any good, but I want to try getting it to start for a little bit. If it starts, we're golden. If not, back to Zeiss we go. That works. Gotta stick with it then. You know me. So I guess that means that we're going to try holding out here for a little bit. That's fine. Just be careful, okay? Don't worry about us. If things start to look too risky, we're heading straight back to town. And you watch yourself on the way to Elmo, okay, Tita? I will. If you get a chance, let Prometheus know what's up, okay? I'm pretty sure he's in the central factory 3rd floor design room. Okay, we'll see you later. Take care. Well, we got the search complete, but now we have to get replacement parts for it. And then of course there's still the product testing potent ingredient, the temp librarian, and a Ritter Road monster. But you'll just have to join us next time when we get to work on all those other side quests and hopefully get the parts we need. Until then, have fun gaming.